I'm wearing my capybara Christmas sweater. That can only mean one thing. Let's do a Christmas Eve makeup look. So I already did my brows, and then for the base, I went in with the Revie Beauty Signature Skin Dream Barrier Cream. And then we also went in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is a classic. And then their new Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. This combo, my skin looks flawless, and I am like breaking out, and you can't really tell. Now, since we are going like glam, I am going to use cream bronzer and blush, and then I am going to top it with powder. But for the cream portion, we are using the e.l.f. Bronze and Contour in the shade Light, and then the Colfi Mindy Moment blush in the shade Pinky Promise. And also, sorry if this lighting is weird. It is like 5 o'clock at night, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and do makeup. You know, the usual things that happen here. But since it's winter, it's getting dark earlier, and this is just the situation we have to deal with. And we're just going to use a brush and blend everything into the skin. I think this base is going to be absolutely flawless. Like, just the foundation and concealer alone looks so good. And then we add in all the cheek products. I'm obsessed. And then this blush is like one of those little squeeze tube ones. So I just squeeze out a little bit, put it on my finger, and then just put it on the cheek like so. This is like the easiest way to do it, and I feel like it's a less messy option of doing this, because then I can take whatever is left on my finger and just kind of wipe it onto the brush. And yeah, but these are super pretty. And if you're a makeup artist, this would be great in your kit because it's more sanitary. You can squeeze this out onto a palette and then pick it up on your brush that way. And if you need more product, you can just squeeze a little more out onto the palette. I think that is genius. For setting powder, let's use the Kimchi Puff Puff Pass. I absolutely love this one. If you guys have watched me for any amount of time, you probably know that. Now for the face and eyes, I am going in with the Laura Geller, the Best of the Best Baked Full Face Basics. That is a mouthful. Now, I do have to be careful because my bronzer is a little loose, but that's besides the point. So we're going to use the bronzer in here, the blush, the more shimmery highlight, and we're going to use the eyeshadows up here, starting with the shade Sunstone. And I am just throwing this shade into the crease. I love how blendable everything in this palette is. I just love a good baked formula. It is one of my favorites, and Laura Geller knows how to do baked products. Now I'm taking the shade Almond, which is that darker brown shade, and we're gonna use this to add some depth. Now the eyeshadows are not like super duper pigmented, which I honestly don't mind, sometimes at least. Especially for like holiday glam like this, I don't mind. And then I'm also taking the shade Almond and running that on the lower lash line to give us a little more definition. Now the lighter shade in here called Oyster, we're using that all over the lid. It is such a beautiful shade. I love doing looks with this palette. This is one of my absolute favorite all-in-one type face palettes. Now, like I said, we're going to use the blush, bronzer, highlight, everything in here. So I'm going to start with some of the bronzer and further warm up the complexion. And then this blush in the shade Pink Buttercream. They do have this individually, and I would highly recommend getting this blush if you love a nice soft baby pink shade. It is so beautiful any time of year, but I especially love this one in winter. It just kind of gives that frostbitten kind of look to the face, and I love it. And the highlighter in here is such a beautiful like glow from within, and it's not shimmery or like glittery. It's literally just a glowy product. It's not harsh, so if you do have more mature skin, this one would be great for you. Finished off the eyes with a classic wing and some black mascara. Let's move into the lips. Now, if you've seen my Christmas glam video, you know I typically use a liquid red lipstick for holiday looks because bullet lipsticks can be a little too shiny and slippery and get all over the place. But I do have an exception on that rule, and that is anything super duper matte, it's not going to move, such as the classic MAC Ruby Woo. This is one of my absolute favorite holiday reds. And then I do have one from Melt and Bailey Sarian from their second collab. I want to say it's Julia, and that is a super matte red bullet lipstick, but Ruby Woo is just a classic. So let's go ahead and jump in with this lip liner. Obviously, the Beauty Bible in Angie. Just a beautiful cherry red shade. Lip liner is on. Let's jump in with this lipstick now. As you can see, I have mixed this one with other shades, but on its own, absolutely stunning. Now, to lock in everything we just did, we're using the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Setting Spray. This is one that you really want to shake up well because it does have like particles in here. So make sure you actually shake it up. And here is our finished Christmas Eve makeup look. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or anything else. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching this video. Hopefully this was entertaining, maybe helpful in some kind of way. And if you like any kind of makeup videos, I do a bunch over here. So definitely like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.